Hello everyone, welcome back to another review. I am Miss2099, and to fill that cape from which we did not get any X-Men Days of Future Past action figures, I bought these, which are minimates. They made 4 pairs of Days of Future Past characters. I found the future versions of all the characters that were released. I believe there could be 2 that I didn't find. Maybe there are. Anyway, here's the packaging. X-Men Days of Future Past, which is my favorite X-Men movie. Professor X, Future Magneto. This is side product image. There's the back. I plan on getting the Wolverine and Charles, and then the young Magneto and Mystique. And on the side is the character. Oh no, Professor X fell off his chair. And then, yeah, Professor X I have some problems with. But we'll talk about that later. We're just going to move these guys back. And then here's the one for Storm and Logan. I've been calling him Logan a lot because I've been writing a story about Logan. Anyway, God. Yeah, Professor X falls out a lot, and I forgot the stand for Magneto. They each come with stands, but Professor X obviously can't use his because he's in a wheelchair. The thing is, he falls out of the wheelchair very easily because he's just sitting there. And it's not like straight plastic, like I said in one of my last reviews. It's like my table, which is like curved a little bit. Anyway, we're gonna take a look at probably my favorite character to least. Probably my least favorite character to favorite. Yeah, Storm's my least favorite, but in this pack, it's actually my favorite because she comes with the most stuff. So anyway, she has a normal type body. The face, I actually think that these are all really good face sculpts for being this tiny, and it is sort of pretty, accurate, in my opinion, to the actors. There you have a look. They do have nice, little paneling on them. Sorry, I sound a little sick. And then you have some paneling. And then she has this little cape, but she comes with the most accessories, so you take that off this little stand. She came with this flying stand, so it looks like she's flying. Flying. And then what you can do, because she usually flies and then shoots out lightning, she can have little lightning effects, which I lost one of them during a stop motion. So you can have her zoop, 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 zap, 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 zap. But then if you want to get the look where her eyes are white, she comes with another head. Which it sucks because she comes with the most stuff, where the rest of them come with nothing. And that looks pretty nice. And, I like her like this. And I like one of the legs bent like that, because she does that sometimes in the movies. But I do think that, hey, we got the best Storm ever from X-Men Days of Future Past. So we're just going to set her back there. And there you can see her. Now let's take a look at Magneto. Now these aren't going to be in any specific order because Wolverine, Professor X, and Magneto are my favorites. So we're just going to go with Magneto, which, again, likeness is pretty good, considering that these guys are pretty small. Only a little tiny bit bigger than a Lego minifigure. My camera just does not want to focus. So I'm just trying to get my camera to focus. Ah, there you go. He has a pretty nice face sculpt. And then again, he has some paneling on him, not on his legs. The bad thing about him is, oops, we need a little stand for his feet, because these guys cannot stand without their little stands. Anyway, his articulation is limited the most because this is solid plastic, same with that, so you can't really get much articulation. But if you take that off, you can, of course, get him, moving metal around, and yeah. Now we're just going to go to Professor X, which, of course, again, he does come with a wheelchair, which I think is amazing. It looks nice, but you can, of course, see that it's not solid plastic. It's not, perfectly still, so he does sometimes fall off. And I do think that this has a nice likeness to Patrick Stewart. I do like that they did take the hole out of his head, because otherwise it would look like someone drilled something in his head. I would have actually liked if he came with something for, like, Cerebros, or if he came with, like, a little closed eye one, so that you can kind of have him, like, pose near Logan, just, like, reading his mind, which, of course, that would be cool. Anyway, you can just set him in the wheelchair. He has no peg or anything, so it kind of sucks, because he'll just fall out. And his butt does not reach the back, so he's kind of just, like, sort of leaning in it. And then last is Wolverine, which I really wish that Storm was not the one to come with all the accessories, because it would have been better to just, like, spread them out with each character, like, oh, she gets all those pieces, but Magneto gets some of the same too. Of course, you could just use that flight stand for Magneto, because that would work too. Now, I do think that this has a nice likeness to Hugh Jackman. I do like the white on the sides. And he does look kind of like, you talking to me, bub? You talking to me? You talking to me? But I do wish that this guy came with a closed eye one, so that, like, just sort of like the Professor X one, you could have him, like, laying down without his eyes just staring up. And you could have, like, even a closed eye rage face, and you could be like, ah, like from that scene in the movie where he's like, ah, I'm stabbing everyone, ah, I'm angry, ah, I'm supposed to be sleeping and being in the past right now, but I'm being shot, ah. That's my impression of Wolverine. But he does have nice claws. Minimates, for their size, do a nice job with claws, especially for Wolverine, because with most of the time, either you get too thin claws, or you get really bad claws, or you get what I call the Lego one, which are my least favorite ones, because they have a weird base. Anyway, you can get nice group shots of them. And I wish that there was a Sentinel figure, because that would have been so cool. They could do, like, a big pack with the giant Sentinel that had, like, all the scales on his body. And they could, like, yeah, that'd be cool. If I do get that new Marvel Legends Logan and Sentinel figure, I'm going to pose them with the Sentinel. Because I do like myself X-Men fighting against a giant Sentinel. But you can get some nice group poses with them. Of course, they are pretty small. To be accurate, I'll just grab... I forgot to bring my action figures up. So we're going to use a penny. No, a dime. I'm using my change jars. I barely use them because they're all over there. They're right next to my review station. Maybe I'll do a showing of what my review station looks like, but here's a dime. Their head is about as big as a dime. So yeah, they're pretty small. I have to admit, I like these guys. I found them again at the comic book store, Warp 9. They have a whole shelf of Minimate things. So if you do enjoy Minimates and you live in Michigan, specifically Clawson, Michigan, go take a little trip and go visit them. I'm not sponsored by them in any way, but I do just like them in general, that I will still shout them out. They do great customer service. They are pretty great. So yeah, I'd recommend checking them out. And no special, like, hey, I know Rodimus, you guys. I know Rodimus. They're not going to be like, they're going to be like, who's Rodimus? And are you okay? Because they haven't sponsored me. I do think that they have a podcast thing which you can listen to. Maybe I'll try and find it and link it in the description. I probably won't. You know me. Whenever I say I'll link something in the description, I don't. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'm Rodimus. See ya. Peace. Signing out. Something. Still need to come up with an outro.